So, Keira Knightley just committed the most dangerous act in modern Hollywood. No, she didn't storm the Capitol. She didn't misgender anyone. She laughed at a woke reporter. Yeah, that's right, a literal laugh. And judging by the internet meltdown, you'd think she burned down a gender studies department with a hardcover copy of Goblet of Fire. Apparently, being cast as Professor Umbridge in a Harry Potter audiobook means you now have to pass a political purity test about JK Rowling's Twitter account. And when asked about it, Keira did the unthinkable. She chuckled and said, "I was not aware of that. I'm very sorry. I think we all just have to learn how to live together." Oh, the horror, the humanity, the normalcy. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to The Critical Nerd, where we dissect the insanity of modern pop culture, one ridiculous controversy at a time. And today, we've got a doozy. If you're new here, smash that like button, subscribe, and ring that bell before YouTube decides this video is hate speech for featuring basic common sense and adult reasoning. Today, we're talking about Keira Knightley. You know her, Pirates of the Caribbean, Pride and Prejudice. That accent that could make reading a phone book sound elegant. Well, she just became the latest Hollywood actress to absolutely body a woke reporter who tried to shame her for, doing voice acting work on a Harry Potter audiobook. Oh, the horror! A successful actress took a job in a wildly popular franchise. Alert the authorities! But here's where it gets delicious, folks. When confronted about JK Rowling's so-called controversy, her response was absolutely perfect. So here's what actually happened. Keira Knightley was doing press for her new Netflix film, The Woman in Cabin 10, which, let's be honest, most of you probably haven't heard of and won't watch, but during the interview, some intrepid journalist decides, you know what? Forget about the movie she's actually here to promote. Let's ask her about the real important issue. So this reporter, who I'm guessing had purple hair and a septum ring, probably looks exactly like you're imagining right now, asked her this Pulitzer Prize-worthy question. And, in fact, I have it right here.
You're voicing Professor Umbridge in the new Harry Potter audiobooks. I was wondering, are you aware that some fans are calling for a boycott, given JK Rowling's ongoing campaign against trans people?
Hear that? I saw you're voicing Professor Umbridge in the new Harry Potter audiobooks. I was wondering, are you aware that some fans are calling for a boycott given JK Rowling's ongoing campaign against trans people? First of all, ongoing campaign? Campaign? Really? JK Rowling is tweeting from her couch, not leading a military operation. She's not General Patton rolling through Europe with the Third Army. She's a billionaire author saying women are women on social media between sips of tea. And some fans? You mean the same 12 people with pronouns in their bios who have been trying to cancel Harry Potter since 2020? The same boycott that was so devastatingly effective that Hogwarts Legacy sold 35 million copies? You mean that boycott? Now, you can see Keira's face in this clip. And the moment the question starts, you can see in her eyes she knows exactly what's coming. She's probably looking at this reporter thinking, oh boy, here we go. Here comes the struggle session. And her response? Well, let's just play her response.
I was not aware of that, no. I'm very sorry.
And then she lets out a little chuckle.
You know.
Oh no. She laughed. She put out a little laugh, a little polite chuckle. Not a nervous giggle, a full, genuine, are you absolutely serious right now? Laugh. That laugh said everything. That laugh said, I'm a grown woman with a career and a family, and I don't spend 18 hours a day on Twitter looking for things to be offended about. That laugh also said, imagine thinking this matters. That laugh was the British equivalent of, touch grass, mate. But she didn't stop there. She followed up.
So I think we're all living in a period of time right now where we're all going to have to figure out how to live together, aren't we? And we've all got very different opinions. So I hope that we can all find respect.
Now let me translate that for you folks. Kindly bugger off. She just laid the boom down. I should say lowered the boom. Or laid the smack down. She basically school-marmed this reporter like a kindergartner who just threw a tantrum because someone else got the red crayon. Now, children, we all need to learn to share and get along, don't we? Can we all use our big kid words today? This was absolutely a brilliant response. No apology, no groveling, no I stand with the trans community virtue signal. No tearful speech about harm and solidarity. Just a mature, measured response that essentially says, grow up and deal with the fact that not everyone agrees with you. Now, of course, the perpetually offended online, they couldn't handle this. BlueSky, which is basically Twitter for people who got upset when Elon Musk bought Twitter, had a meltdown. And then the articles started rolling in. We got the Mary Sue, who put this out there. Keira Knightley misses the point about JK Rowling and the problem she's caused for Harry Potter. Yeah, because heaven forbid a woman in Hollywood doesn't perform the required ritual of hating JK Rowling on command. Now, their argument in this article is that Keira pretended not to know about the controversy to protect her paycheck. Hold on. Let me get this straight. They're criticizing her for getting paid while they write articles monetizing the exact same controversy. I mean, let's talk about the lack of self-awareness here. It's stunning. You know what Rachel Leisman from the Mary Sue, yes, that's an actual person who gets paid to write this stuff, doesn't seem to understand? Most normal people don't know about this. Most people aren't so politically pickled that they're constantly scanning for the next person to cancel. Meanwhile, Game Rant tried to jump on the outrage bandwagon by resurfacing a recycled article from January claiming Hogwarts Legacy 2 needs to avoid another boycott, which is absolutely hilarious because the last boycott sold 35 million copies. That's not a boycott, that's a marketing campaign. That's the best free advertising you could possibly ask for. The community notes on that tweet were savage. Important distinction, this was a niche boycott attempt. The total sales for Hogwarts Legacy as of March 2025 is estimated to be 35 million copies. And it got absolutely ratioed. Almost 1 million views. Currently, we're sitting at 170 likes. That's embarrassing. Now, I'm going to read you a few of the BlueSky meltdowns because I got to say they're absolutely incredible. I don't have access to BlueSky, so you're going to have to take my word for it here. Eat bleep, Keira Knightley. I guess that was supposed to be eat shit. And yes, the party of tolerance and love. Someone funding the anti-trans movement is not simply a differing opinion. Last I checked, nobody's funding anything. She's doing a voice in an audiobook. She's not writing checks to Big Anti-Trans Inc. Keira Knightley compared to Trump, compared to bacteria, apologize for fate or face consequences. Bacteria. They're comparing her to single-celled organisms because she said we should all respect each other. Yeah, that's logical. I hear you're a transphobe now. Emma. I mean, Keira. And you can't make this stuff up. We've officially reached the point where tolerance is hate speech. I mean, up is up, down is down. I don't get it. But here's what really gets me about this whole circus. Let's talk about these legendary boycotts for a second. Remember that aforementioned Hogwarts Legacy boycott? Well, the result of that, again, was 35 million copies sold, one of the best-selling games of all time. Harry Potter theme parks boycotted. Result? Well, they're still packed. Last I knew, Universal Studios in Japan, the wait time was 90 minutes. That's a long time to stand in line. Harry Potter books boycotted. The result? Still bestsellers after 25 plus years. The audiobooks themselves, again, boycotted. The result? They got Kit Harington, John Lithgow, Simon Pegg, Nick Frost, and Keira freaking Knightley. These boycotts have been so devastatingly effective that Warner Brothers is making an entire Harry Potter TV series with a massive budget. JK Rowling is still a billionaire, and the franchise is stronger than ever. This whole fiasco proves one thing, and gotta say it, again, proves one thing. J.K. Rowling lives rent-free in the heads of professional victims. 5 years of boycotts, hashtags, and literal death threats, and her franchise keeps growing. It keeps expanding. Meanwhile, Emma Watson, the queen of believe all hashtags, recently tried to moderate her stance on Rowling and got canceled again for it. Emma went on a podcast literally struggling to thread an impossible needle, talking about holding two incompatible things and using all this therapeutic word salad. She was editing herself in real time because she's terrified of the mob. That's what being captured by this ideology looks like, folks. You can't even speak normally anymore. And you know what J.K. Rowling said in response? She called Emma's apology a change of track I suspect she's adopted because she's noticed full-throated condemnation of me is no longer quite as fashionable as it was. I mean, that was brutal, savage, absolute destruction, and she's right. The tide is turning. People are tired. Even some data shows trans identification among young people has dropped by over 50% since its peak. This was a social contagion, and it's fading. What we're witnessing right now is the Hollywood hangover from the woke era. For years, journalists forced actors to publicly disavow anyone accused of wrongthink, even if that person literally wrote the stories that made them rich and famous. They wanted every actor to perform loyalty tests, to denounce J.K. Rowling, to prove they were good little activists. And now, stars like Keira Knightley are just, done. They're done apologizing, done pretending to care about Twitter mobs that couldn't fill a hot topic clearance aisle, done performing for people who will cancel you no matter what you say. And you know what's beautiful about Keira's response? She didn't even defend J.K. Rowling. She didn't have to. All she did was say, hey, maybe we should coexist. Maybe we should respect different opinions. And somehow that was considered radical. That got her compared to bacteria and threatened with consequences. We've gone so far off the rails that basic human decency, the simple idea that people can disagree and still treat each other with respect, is now controversial. Think about that for a second. Let that sink in. Here's what every actor, actress, and public figure should learn from this Keira Knightley situation. Don't apologize. I've said it in other videos myself. Never apologize to the woke mob. It'll never be enough. Now, in Keira's case, she did nothing wrong. She took a job. She's an actor. Acting is what she does. Don't need to issue a statement. You don't need to virtue signal. You don't need to perform for the mob. Just laugh, be reasonable, and say, we can disagree respectfully, and move on. The mob has no power if you don't give it to them. They'll scream, they'll post angry tweets from their studio apartments or their mom's basement. They'll write rage-bait articles on dying websites that nobody reads. And then the project will come out, it'll be successful, and everyone will forget about the controversy in a couple of weeks. You know what the mob can't stand? Being laughed at, being mocked, being dismissed, being treated like the irrational children they're acting like. Keira Knightley just gave a master class in exactly how to do that. Never apologize to people who live on the internet. They can't cancel what they can't comprehend. So here's my take in all of this, wrapping this up. Keira Knightley is now officially invited to the cookout. Anyone who can laugh in the face of woke outrage while simultaneously giving the most diplomatic non-answer possible deserves our respect. The Harry Potter audiobooks are going to be fantastic. They've got an all-star cast doing full performances. And I, for one, well, I can't wait to listen to Keira Knightley bringing Dolores Umbridge to life. Every single one of these actors taking roles in Harry Potter projects should follow Keira's lead. Laugh at the ridiculousness. Treat the activists like they're the unserious people they are. And then go cash your check while the franchise continues to print money. As for JK Rowling, she's still a billionaire. She's still beloved by millions. She's still creating content that brings joy to people around the world. And she's still living rent-free in the heads of people who spend their days angry posting on BlueSky. Meanwhile, the rest of us, well, we're just going to enjoy the magic. So, that's all I have for today's video. Let me know in the comments, are you excited for the Harry Potter audiobooks? What's your favorite example of a celebrity not bending the knee to the mob? And how long before they move on to their next manufactured outrage? If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our breakdowns of pop culture insanity. Oh, and don't forget to share this video out there with your friends and family. And remember, in a world full of people bending the knee, be like Keira Knightley. Laugh at the absurdity and live your life. The moment the mom realizes their tantrums don't work, the spell is broken. I'm the Critical Nerd, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay critical, stay nerdy, and for the love of Merlin, stay sane.